KV Kamath, chairman of ICICI Bank, talks why the market euphoria for BJP win is not misplaced and predicts higher growth going ahead. Kamath is also of the view that rate cycle will revive as early as next fiscal.
The fact that you got a leader who is believed to lead very well and has demonstrated that he can lead very well, and the market and the people are rallying behind it.
But don't you think too much hope and money, in a sense, is riding behind one man? Because, despite his good intentions, you know more than anyone else that there are structural problems in the economy, and, even the Prime Minister doesn't quite have a magic wand.
If you look back, Sandeep, and look back 10 years, the economy was getting into near double-digit growth with all the structural problems. Now you have a leader who has a known bias to fix things and make sure that things work. I think it's the same set of structures, it's the same set of people who are driving this. I think you have a right leader who can drive the effort.
Mr. Kamath, the other day we had Mr. Birla meet the finance minister, and as he walked out of the meeting, he said he expects the economy to revive in 3 to 6 months, and he says, I'm going to start investing now in India. And we haven't heard too many corporate leaders say that. You have a pulse of the mood of corporate India. What's your sense? When do you think will corporate leaders start investing?
You see, the first sense comes from the market. That sense I clearly have. That it's the collective wisdom of the marketplace is that there is action and we will move at speed. I think that improves the confidence level of industry. I think that would have started happening. Now we need to see whether some of the ground conditions that are needed for people to get back to an investment mode are going to change. Today I read that there's a large slate of reforms or projects which have been stuck, which are going to be addressed in the next few days. And if that happens, you will see a sea change in the investment mindset, as it were.
So it could happen in 3 months itself, you think?
I would think that low-hanging fruit, we are talking about between 3 and 6 months to start harvesting. But if you want incremental investment to happen, that's the next year beyond that period. But I think there is enough to harvest in the first 6 months in terms of stuck projects and so on.
The one cue that corporate India will also look forward to is the budget. And given the nature of the mandate that we have, the strength that this government has in the parliament, would you expect tough reforms in this budget itself?
Yeah, again, I don't want to call or second guess what somebody is working on, but I would think it will be a budget where you try to have fiscal discipline, and whatever is needed to get the discipline, you get right. And in what measure, in what combination, for the government to call. But I would think the single thing that people will look for is fiscal discipline and a path to getting the deficit under control, say over a 3-year period. If that is well constructed and well articulated, I think you will see a cheer going up.
But does the 4.1% number now look a little tricky to you?
I think if you eliminate waste, you eliminate what is theft, and eliminate what is not needed, I think 4.1 is achievable.
When do you think fiscal and monetary policy will start working in tandem? When do you expect rates to turn?
Yeah, well, I think Central Monetary Policy Authority always will say that let us see the constructive design of a fiscal deficit. So we know what it is and what it will, where it will head. And once they see that construct, as it were, for this year and for, say, 2 years down the line, and then I should believe that they should have greater confidence to tinker with the rates. Or
can it happen?
Inflation itself has to start dropping. We see several people have given several solutions, starting with release food stocks, push the pedal on APMC reform and so on. I'm sure, again, this is something that the government will very quickly understand and take all the steps or some of the steps, which should give policymakers confidence to get interest rates down. Will I see it happen
in this fiscal?
In this fiscal? Certainly. It should be in the next 12 months. I would think it ought to start happening in the first 6 months.
A 0.25% or more through the course of the year?
No call, but let's see what, everything will depend on where the deficit number comes in and whether you are able to get, the inflation rate moving down. Then rates could move fast. So I don't want to take a call on it.
Final question, your outlook on growth in the short term, in the medium term, in the long term, and assuming that in the long run we're all alive and not dead, no. But how good
in the long run we're all going to be alive, I have no doubt about it. My long run number doesn't have a single digit, it has 2 digits. So you can take a guess on
but will that happen in the term of this government, you think?
I think it will happen in the term of this government.
The first term of this
government. It will happen in the first term of this government. That's for sure. if they progress the way they mean to, I'm reasonably sure that we will see 2 digits in that growth rate in the first term of this government.